Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to A1 Hoop Zone. Back at you on another one, man. But before we jump into this, make sure you hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're new. Also, hey, if you want anything off these predictions, man, all thing I'm asking for is your participation. Hit that like button, sub to the channel. Let me know if this is helpful or not. Leave me a comment, man. Let me know if you want something off of it. And we're gonna keep deep diving into that prediction record to put some separation in them columns, man. But nonetheless, this is gonna be NBA Quick Hits, part 20. Um, volume one of today, as we have 14 games today. So make sure you stay tuned for the entirety of the video to get all the predictions. Again, man, we got 14 games, so I'm gonna drop the first seven on this one, and again, look out for volume two, man. But first up, man, we got the Spurs versus the Magic. Spurs sitting at 10 and 21 versus the 12 and 21 Orlando Magic. Great game on this one. Two teams, I would say, well, one team struggling or playing a little bit beneath their talent level, at least on paper. And by saying that, I'm speaking of the Orlando Magic, but we all know they've been injury alert all season long. So it's been in a situation, man. They're just trying to get healthy, and they beat some teams. Again, they just knocked out the Celtics. So again, they're beating teams that what I mean, they're out there able to compete, and they're beating teams they're not supposed to beat. At least what people are saying is from an odds perspective. But nonetheless, this team is out there. They're getting it, man. So we're not gonna hold you nor take too long on this one. It looks like Wendell Carter Jr. and Gary Harris are both available for this game. So who do we have winning this one, man? No slight nor disrespect to the Spurs, but I'm gonna rock out with the Orlando Magic on this one. I feel like they had a more talented roster. They're healthier, and they're just gonna be able to again slump out a dub on this one. But I wouldn't be surprised if Spurs went in there and was able to walk away with the win on this one. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that one. So again, I got the I got the Orlando Magic beating the Spurs, man. Next up after that, we got the 19 and 14 Clippers versus the 18 and 12 76ers. Tough pick on this one, man. Very tough pick. Obviously, if you have Kawhi and Paul George out there, that definitely increases their chances of winning. But it's been a rare sighting of seeing both on the court at the same time, which is the unfortunate part, man. But it looks like John Wall is the only player on there that's actually listed as questionable for the injury report on this one. So, we will be seeing a Kawhi and a PG sighting, versus this 76ers team that's looked like they're starting to get their feet under them, man. Embiid is balling out of control. You got James Harden back. Harris is out there. They're still waiting for Tyrese Maxey to make his return. But Milton and Melton have definitely stepped in and stepped up huge for this team. So, again, I expect a battle on this one, man. So you know who I'm going to pick with this one. I'm going to rock out with the Philadelphia 76ers on this one. That might be a surprise to some, obviously, with PG and Kawhi being out there. But I think the Sixers right now, man, with the way Embiid is playing, he's playing on a whole other level. So I'm going to rock out the 76ers to win that one, man. Next up, we got the Bucks versus the Nets, 22 and 9 Milwaukee Bucks versus the 20 and 12 Brooklyn Nets. Again, a lot of people had a lot to say about the Nets and they had a rough start, but you're not hearing nothing at this point, man. They quiet as church mouses right now. But nonetheless, another great game on this one, man. I'm excited to see it, and I can't wait to see it. Very hard pick'em situation. Giannis healthy, obviously KD, Kyrie, Ben Simmons on the other side of that, man. So, man, this is gonna be a great matchup. Chris Middleton is back as well. So again, both teams are looking like they're poised to get back to where they need to be to making this almost probably from a playoff intensity type game. Now the situation of it is, who do we have out and who do we have in on this game? Kyrie's going to be back. So, again, you're going to have KD and Kyrie out there, and you're going to see a battle. You got Seth out there, Joe Harris. Everybody is fairly healthy. So it looks like we're coming into this game, man, where let's see, who do we – I'm going to take a look at the report of it right now, man. For the injuries, I mean, they only have some people that's listed from G League pretty much at this point that could potentially miss some game or listed as questionable. Otherwise, the Milwaukee Bucks don't have anybody listed, so we're in good hands here. Who do we have winning this game, man? Who do we have winning this? So I'm going to rock out with the Brooklyn Nets. I think they are looking to prove a point right now, and obviously they want to get some give back in a situation that took place. With obviously their matchup they had in the playoffs from recent years. So definitely going to rock out with the Nets on this one. Big time game in a big situation. I think that KD and Kyrie are going to show up huge for them, man. Next up on this one, we got the 13 and 18 versus the 18 and 14 New York Knicks. Again, man, one of those situations where two teams in the East could be seeing a potential playoff preview. The situation just like the previous prediction between the Nets and the Bucks. Playoff preview we could be seeing, but on this one, man. You know what? Quentin Grimes could return tonight, so that's a huge difference for them. Alex Caruso is out. Big, huge hit for them. Who do we have winning this game, man? Bulls have been struggling. They've won a couple of games, but there's been a lot of turmoil in that locker room, so they're still trying to figure out that situation. So who do we have winning this one, man? I'm rocking out with the New York Knicks to show up big for MSG and put on for them, man. I expect a big game from Jalen Brunson. Um, Big game from Julius Randle. I expect a big game from all the guys that need to show up and show up big, man. So I expect the New York Knicks to win this. I'm gonna get us to the Knicks on this one, man. Next up, we got the Timberwolves versus the Celtics. Not gonna take too long, or no slight or disrespect to the Timberwolves, but I'm picking the Boston Celtics right off the bat. Again, no slight nor disrespect. Rudy Gobert is listed as probable for the game or questionable, so who knows if his status will be. But I feel like the Celtics team they let one go the other day, and they're going to look to get some get back. So I expect a huge game from Tatum, a huge game from Brown. Robert Williams is back as well. So again, man, they're getting healthy and they're getting back after. So I got the C's winning this one, man. And then next up after that, we got the Pistons versus the Hawks. Pistons sitting at 8-26. Atlanta Hawks sitting at 16-16. Not gonna hold you nor take too long with this prediction. No disrespect nor slight to the Pistons, but I'm gonna rock out the Atlanta Hawks on this one. Playing at home, Collins being back, Trae Young and DeJounte Murray out there, man. But don't sleep on this Pistons team. Do not be surprised whatsoever if they went in there and beat this Hawks team. A lot of teams, quote unquote, tend to, you can say, play down to their competition, but this is the NBA, man. It's one of those situations where you're not able to do that because everyone's on an equal playing field. Any given night, any team can get hot. So don't be surprised if the Hawks, get beat by the Pistons. But I got the Hawks as my favorite as far as a pick on this one, man. And then the last game up for this part one series here, we got the nightcap game, 14-18, Toronto Raptors versus the 22-11 Cleveland Cavaliers. Who, man, oh man, this is one of those games, man, where it's it's a tough pick'em situation. Definitely could be seeing a potential playoff preview Eastern Conference matchup. It is a situation where it's a battle of who's healthiest at this point. Who's going to have the healthier team going out for this game and down the line as well. But from an injury report, I'll read it out to you guys. Evan Mobley is questionable. Let's see, Ricky Rubio still out. The other names, Lamar Stevens, he is questionable. Dean Wade is out. And then for the Raptors, Precious is out. Let's see who else we got here. Otto Porter Jr., Gary Trent Jr. is questionable. Otto Porter Jr. is out. And then King Birch is out. So again, fairly healthy as far as like the big names, like the Siakams, the Fred VanVleets, the Anunoby, and things, and Scott. It's Scotty Barnes. It's a lot of situations where you look at it, who's going to be healthy and who's going to show up in this one. Man, this is a tough one to pick. But I'm a rock out with the Cleveland Cavaliers on this one. I feel like Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Garrett Allen, Karis LeVert, all those guys, man, they're going to show up big. Obviously, again, another home game in the queue, and I think they're going to put on the show. So, again, man, can't wait to see. We got a stacked card of games today. Again, make sure you tune in for part two, all the NBA predictions, man. But as a quick recap, I got the Magic beating the Spurs, the 76ers beating the Clippers, the Nets beating the Bucks, the Knicks beating the Bulls, Celtics beating the Timberwolves, Hawks beating the Pistons, and the Cavaliers beating the Raptors. I know those are all home games, so are all home picks, so we'll have to wait and see. But that's all I got for you right now. I appreciate you stopping through. Make sure you hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're new, leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of y'all. And if you wish to support the channel, that information is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It's also in the description of the video. Again, I appreciate you stopping through, and I'll catch you on another one, man.